Okay, today we are playing a game on Hanamura. We are playing Soldier 76 the entire way through, and the average SR of this game was 1,503. So, let's look at our team. This person hasn't picked yet, but they are going to pick Reinhardt. That's an awful arm drawing with a mouse. That's going to be my defense. So, we've got 3 supports, 2 DPS, and a tank. Not really true, because Symmetra doesn't quite count as a support. Blizzard has a different idea of what a support is to what the actual community thinks a support is. So we basically have 3 DPS, 2 supports, and a tank. Which is probably going to be an issue. At least they pick Reinhardt. That's good. They pick the best tank they can. But having 1 tank on a 2 CP map, particularly Hanamura, tends to lead to you getting rolled over fairly easily, especially when, like, Widowmaker, she's in silver, she's probably not going to be very good at Widowmaker. Symmetra kind of depends on the enemy team letting her kill people. It can be an issue, but, I mean, we'll have faith. So, let's start the game. So, Helix jumped up here to shoot out this window at the start. This is fine. I find it's usually really hard to stay in this window when you're playing Soldier on defense because, when you're standing up here, they tend to start shelling you as quickly as possible to get you off. So, we are, shooting at the Junkrat right here. Minor gripe. Try not to stand, like, perfectly still when you're shooting at people. Just be, like, moving around a little bit more. And this is why it's hard to stay up on this window for very long, because you tend to start getting attacked. Their DPS are Junkrat and Tracer, so they don't end up putting too very much pressure up on us right here, but we're occupying some of them, at least. Like, Zarya is kind of spending her time shooting up at us. And you have to, like, extend out pretty far to see people in front of the gate. I find it's better to, like, stay up here, try to kill somebody if you can as they're coming up, and then when they're aggressing onto you, jump backwards, like, onto the balcony behind you, or just stand over in, like, the rock garden and shoot out of the gate at people. Because also important for Soldier, it doesn't matter so much in this game because they don't have a Reinhardt or an Orisa, but Soldier, you want to be, like, spending as much time as possible trying to break the enemy Reinhardt's barrier as well, because Soldier is really good at that. So, doesn't matter so much here because they don't have a Reinhardt, but... So we stay up here for a while. They are starting to take notice of us. There are some Helix rockets just flew in, so they have a Soldier hiding off somewhere as well. Junkrat shelling us. This is like the point you get off, because it's starting to get hard to stand up here. Like, Junkrat's making it difficult. And sometimes Junkrat gets lucky and you just happen to die, right? It's very scary. So, they're going in over there, Reinhardt's charging in. I would also jump off here just to, like, shoot at the people going in this doorway. Because, like, there's a Mercy and a person in here. It's, Roadhog. Just, like, jump down and start killing them. Because they've overcommitted and should die for this, but, like, one of your DPS is a Widowmaker. So, and Symmetra just died. So that means it's Reinhardt and Mercy and Zenyatta trying to kill people in here. You want to be helping them out because you're, like, the only actual DPS hero still left alive. But it's all working. Like, we're staying over here, like, doing some damage, but, like, we're not exactly blowing the doors off right now. So now we're coming back around here. Just, like, be looking at the gate still. Like, look over at the gate now and then, because you just kind of, like, sprint straight across. Don't ever look over. Just, like, look over, see if something's happening for you to shoot at while you're coming across. So now we're coming back up here. The thing is with standing up here as well is that, like, yeah, this is high ground, and high ground is good, but it can be really hard to see out of the gate in this area, because the enemy team naturally tends to gather on the left-hand side, the right-hand side of the gate looking out. And it's hard to see people over there on that side from here. Well, I mean, you can't because the wall's in the way. So I find this tends to not be a great place for Soldier either. We're trying to kill this Tracer because she's being a problem. It's not really working out. I mean, it's hard to kill Tracer. Again, try not to stand perfectly still while you're shooting at people. Because that's what we're doing right now. Like, imagine, right? Like, imagine this Junkrat is any other hero in the game, right? And he sees you standing perfectly still up on this high ground, while most of your team's distracted back here. You're gonna die. So try not to stand perfectly still while you're shooting. Just, like, bob back and forth a little bit. Again, I'd jump down, just, like, try and kill that person faster. Just, like, jump down on the right-hand side so you can actually see in and try to kill this Zarya. Because she's, like, trying to run somebody down right now. And, again, your DPS, like, you kind of have to kill people because you're the only consistent DPS on your team, right? So you kind of have to, like, jump down and help in that situation. We got a Roadhog coming around on the right-hand side. We're going around to try and fight him. We do have to be careful that we don't get hooked and die. That's not what happens because the Roadhog misses because he's bad. Like so. Again, don't stand perfectly still, right? Right there, he's missed the hook. It's still possible you die here because he can still right-click and it goes just slightly to the right of you. But that could have killed you right there. Again, try not to just stop moving when you're fighting somebody. Also, don't start walking towards danger. Like, you're walking into the Roadhog, not where you want to be going as a soldier. You can be very far away, still be doing damage. So this is happening right now. This is, very awkward. Fortunately, he doesn't kill you. He starts trying to kill the Mercy, which, I mean, fair enough, but that gives you enough time to kill him, so that's good. Dodge the Roadhog. Oh, no, we're gonna get pushed off the edge. Oh, feels bad, man. You could just go left, also, because there is a corner around there, and you would have been able to get behind cover, rather than get shoved off the edge. You're also calling for Mercy to maybe res you. You got pushed off the edge. You can't be resed if you get pushed off the edge. Just for, like, future reference. So we're coming back now. Team's still doing okay, and team entirely dies right as we're about to get back, so that feels bad, man. This is the kind of time that you just give up on the point, right? At this point, because you just come around the corner, you see 5 heroes stood right here. It's just you. This is not going to work out. We kill the Junkrat, which is, I mean, it's cool and all, but it's Junkrat. This isn't going to work out. You just leave in this situation. And then we throw our ult on the ground as well, and, not a good use of company resources. Pretty low chance of success on that one. We almost bait Zenyatta in as well, because he's, like, coming around to try and help us fight right there. So, that sucks. That's the kind of play that can lose you the game, because you just threw away an ult on a point that had already been lost, and if the enemy team comes in quick enough, and you don't have enough ultimates to fend them off, they can just snowball over you. So, that's very scary to do. So, we're spending a lot of time, like, running around trying to decide where we want to stand right now. Enemy team is, like, coming through this window. Target prioritization, try to kill Junkrat, instead of Zarya. Like, yeah, Zarya's easy, like, Zarya's there, but, like, this Junkrat, you could kill this Junkrat, right? This rocket, if you just shoot this Junkrat and shoot the rocket into him, you probably kill him. He's right in your face. Junkrat's an easy model to hit. You're more likely to kill him than Zarya. So, Roadhog's over here. He's hooked the Widowmaker. He's like a dead man. Like, that Roadhog's trying to commit suicide over there, and that's exactly what happens. Junkrat, oh no. Scary. Good heavens, that was a close one. We're trying to poke out, trying to kill these people. It's a little hard because we're getting shelled at, but also, important thing we just saw there. There's a Widowmaker on the enemy team right now, because we just saw some bullets streak past. See? Oh, Widowmaker bullets right over here. And again, we're bad habit, we're standing perfectly still while we're shooting at people. I get you haven't got much room to stand in this Widow frame, but don't stand perfectly still. Bare minimum, like, crouch and uncrouch a few times. At least then you move your head hitbox around. Like, don't stand perfectly still, because that happens. And we didn't notice the Widowmaker until that point either, because we just said, oh fuck, Widowmaker, or something to that effect. Yeah, could have noticed the Widowmaker. So we've almost got Tac Visor back again, that's cool. Oh, very scary, almost don't. Oh, very scary. Don't walk towards the Graviton, even though it doesn't look like anything's gonna happen with that Graviton. Don't walk closer to the Graviton, very scary. Again, we're walking into people. We don't need to be doing this. We're playing Soldier 76. We are a mid to long range fighter. We hate being close to people. Try not to walk into people as you're fighting them. So they have an Orisa now, which is fantastic news for us. Orisa is a fantastic ult battery for Soldier 76. Fucking hell, Widowmaker just almost, like, shot straight through our face right there. We weren't expecting it, fair enough. We don't quite kill her, she gets away, feels bad, man, but fuck, right? Like, just come around the corner, fucking spider right in front of your face. Unexpected. So, Soldier's peeked up around here, he's, like, gotten the drop on us. We expose ourselves to danger right there and we get shot. When you're, like, you gotta be careful. Like, you're fighting Soldier 76 right now. Like, just strafe back and forth, like crouch on crouch jump. You gotta be, they have a Widowmaker, so you have to be really careful about doing this, cause you expose yourself to another line of sight, and she just kills you through it. You gotta be mindful of where you're dodging into, cause you can easily dodge into more danger, as we do right there. So 2 people just got killed by the tire. One of them was Mercy. Feels bad, man. We're coming out. We're ulting. Again, we're walking towards them right now as we're using the tac visor. We don't need to do that. We could just be sitting further back. Also, general thing on Hanamura. If possible, you want to use tac visor on high ground because you can fire over shields. High ground is naturally better than low ground. As Master Obi-Wan Kenobi taught us, high ground is really fucking overpowered. On Hanamura, you can really easily get up onto high ground over here, provided there isn't a fight happening over there. There is not a fight happening over there right now. So you could actually cut up onto the high ground over there and use your tac visor up there, and you'd have better lines of sight onto these people. And since, they just got 2 kills, they're going to be trying to advance in on the point and then, like, you use tac visor, they're like, oh, fuck. I mean, it's kind of hard to walk in on the point now, isn't it? So... but just generally don't walk into them at the very least. So we've killed their Mercy, that's cool. We're right next to a lot of scary things, but I mean, Junkrat, right? Almost died to his passive, that sucks. Didn't quite die though, so that's good. Soldier's using his tac visor. He doesn't kill us, even though we're pretty exposed. He eventually kills the Widowmaker, but all in all, that was a pretty lame tac visor. Kind of hold on to your missiles there for a little bit. You usually want to just, like, spam out the missiles as much as possible. Right? Like, you've got them right now. Just, like, set them up there and just, like, try and hit them with the missiles. Missiles, spam them as much as possible. If there's a shield, send them into the shield. If you can hit somebody with them, hit them with it. It's, like... It's not a utility ability, right? Like, there are cooldowns in this game you have to be really mindful of, like Anna's, because they're utility abilities, and you need them to, like, protect yourself. Helix Rocket is just damage, so you want to just... And Soldier's thing is consistent damage output, so you want to put missiles into people as much as possible. So we've managed to pick off their Widowmaker, that's cool, we're fighting their Soldier. No need to be afraid, really, we've got shield generator health, so we could have come out a bit more aggressively. Now a Junkrat's here. It's Junkrat, right? Whatever. We've got our team backing us up, we've got shield generator, all our cooldowns are coming up. Again, don't walk into him, that's just like a bad habit, don't walk into people. Yeah, it makes him a little easier to hit, but like, just don't walk into people. You don't want to be doing that, bad habit. Minor thing, didn't need to pick up the health kit. You've got shield generator HP, so that health was just going to be regenerating as you're coming back into position, so you could have gotten here a little bit quicker and still been full HP. Widowmaker pops out at us again. We actually managed to kill her that time, so that's good. Again, don't stand perfectly still like we're doing right there. You never know. And now, I mean, we're just playing Soldier 76 right now. Oh, we jump off the high ground to get closer to the Mercy. Don't do that. I get you want to kill the Mercy and all that, but like, again, don't walk into people when you're fighting a Soldier 76. And like, you're on the high ground. You're in like the perfect position. That's exactly where Soldier wants to be. And you have tac visor as well, for if a fight breaks out, you'll be on the high ground to use it on them. Don't jump off the high ground. Don't walk into people when you're fighting them. Bad habit. Especially Soldier. Likes to be really far away. I mean, not like sniper range away, but far away. Doesn't like being close to people. So, their Widowmaker is back. We gotta be careful about that. Try and kill her if we can. Oh, fuck, Widowmaker popped out. Don't really need to go get that either. We're still basically full HP. We could just be advancing in to try and get the Widowmaker. Because the more time you give Widowmaker to run away, the more time she has to be, like, setting up to just stare at you as you come around the corner, right? And she, like, put her mind down or something like that. You give her time to get away. You're full HP. You didn't really need to go and get the large health kit. Especially since you had Biotic Field off cooldown. Doesn't matter though, really. So, now we're up here again. Their Soldier's coming in with a tac visor. We jump down. You're pretty much fucked because he decides to follow you down. On average, I would say you want to stay under the bridge or try to run into this room with a large health. I don't know why I'm pointing with my cursor. I would advise you to, if I pick the fucking pen, stay under the bridge or try to run in this doorway. Because he's on the high ground up there. You just ran away from him. Most soldiers are just going to look over the edge and try to shoot you in the pit. So it can be worth staying under the bridge to use the bridge as cover. But if they jump down, that's obviously not going to save you, so you could just try and run in here as well, where there's cover and a large health kit to fight with, you know. But, like, running up this way generally is not going to get you away, especially if they jump down to try and chase you. But you're pretty much fucked in that position, realistically. But, I mean, he used it only on you. It's nothing's happening right now. We've still got our attack visor. This is all cool. They've only got a few seconds left, so this is good. We come out in attack visor. It's not great, because when you use attack visor, the best case scenario, like the best time to use it is when some of the enemy team are away from cover. Some squishy members of the enemy team are away from cover. Because, I mean, what can often happen is just you attack visor, they all stand behind Reinhardt's shield. So, usually you don't want to just, like, pop out and start ulting immediately. You need to wait for, like, the enemy team to give you a little bit of something to work with, because it's like, we're gonna use it on this Winston, but we can't shoot any of the squishy members of the team. And again, we had enough time that we could have probably just ran around the side. We could have just gone around the left-hand side and come out onto the high ground and use it up there. And then we'd just be able to shoot. And then, like, Reinhardt's like, oh, I gotta look up there, but the enemy team's also over there. And that's just really scary for him. Instead, we use attack visor in this way. That's really not gonna get anything done too much. Right there, we had a very brief window. We could be shooting at somebody other than Winston. We could be shooting at that Widowmaker over there. Higher priority target than Winston. Especially Winston, who's in Primal Rage. But, I mean, that's just not a very good use of attack visor. So, fight's breaking out. It's going well. We've already killed 3 of them. We're trying to kill this Mercy. Oh, God, have to reload. Getting a little flustered about it. Again, don't walk into people. I get you're trying to kill the Mercy and you really want to hit her, but don't walk into people. That is a very bad habit. Soldier's trying to play Ring Around the Rosie. He's not gonna win, you know. We managed to fend them off. That's cool. Everything is fine. So, now we're attacking. Skip past all the prep time. So, now we have a better team comp, because we have 2 tanks. Unfortunately, we have, Winston and Roadhog. So, we don't have a Reinhardt to just help us walk in the gate anymore. So, that's gonna make it a little bit difficult for us. As a soldier, anyway. So, we're gonna try. I don't advise that you try and do this in general, because we're gonna try and do this helix jump over here. The thing is that even if you get up there, that's not really going to be that much help to you on average, because the only, like, you can get away with this if they don't have anything that can threaten you up here. Because think about it, you're standing up on this. You have to use helix rockets to get over here. You have to damage yourself to get over here. You're standing on this really exposed high ground. There's no cover up here to actually use. And you're going to be up here by yourself. Your supports are not going to follow you up here, right? Like, maybe there's an Ana shooting you from outside, but you're coming up here by yourself. You're on this exposed high ground. And yeah, you can see everybody. But the enemy team is most of the time going to also have a soldier, or they're going to have a McCree, or they're going to have a Roadhog. You know, they're gonna have, or they might have a Farah. They're gonna have a Junkrat. That wouldn't be too bad, actually, to hit us up here. Like, this is a really exposed position. Yeah, you've got high ground advantage over them, and you're on the side of them. But you're probably just gonna die doing this. Like, I do not recommend doing this maneuver in general. Then we get up here, we're immediately jump off and start walking towards the Symmetra. And then we do, like, this is not what we want to do. Like, even if you do this, like, just stay up there. Again, we're walking into people when we don't need to do that. What we do right here, we could be doing from further away, but be safer. And then we're like, fuck, I almost got the Symmetra. Oh no, oh god, it's all falling apart, run away. Like, I just generally don't advise doing that maneuver, because you're gonna die doing it a lot of the time. Oh yeah, Bastion also. Like, what probably happens is you get up there, they immediately turn to start shooting at you, and you just have to immediately jump off. So you just waste a bunch of time. You have to immediately just jump back out to your team. It's just gonna waste time. I don't advise it. So we're trying to kill this Bastion. Again, do not stand perfectly still when you're shooting at people. That is also a bad habit. And, like, we are just, like, not where we want to be. We are not, by the way, there's a large health kit in the room you just passed. You pass it again later, so I don't think you know it's there. But, like, we're not really being very productive right now. Like, if you're gonna be doing this, like, hanging around in the backside of the team, just pick Genji, or Tracer, or Reaper. Because this is not what Soldier is good at. So, like, see, you pass by, there's a large health kit in that room, right? You could just, like, you're half HP, you could pick that up. This is not what Soldier is good at, right? Like, this is just not what you want to be doing. You're not really doing very much the entire time you're over here. The enemy team is kind of like, there's a soldier over there, but, like, they're not really worrying about you too much. We put on the attack visor, Symmetra almost kills us. We like, again, we're walking into people right afterwards, because we're running away from him, yeah? But then we start walking into Junkrat, and Junkrat just kills us, because Symmetra mostly killed us. Yeah, we just don't want to be over there. That's just not where Soldier wants to be. Like, if you end up in that, like, yeah, okay, so maybe you end up over there on accident because you get up there, and then, but, like, you run into the danger, which is, again, not a bad habit, don't walk into the people you're shooting at. And, like, you end up cut off over there by accident. Like, fair enough, right? Just die faster, because you're not really doing anything while you're over there. Just jump off the cliff behind you, because that's not what Soldier's good at, and the whole time you spend over there, you don't really accomplish anything except spending a lot of time over there. So just don't do that. Bad times. So, and now we're gonna go around, like, you should be shooting into that Reinhardt shield right now, because, like, somebody has to do it. I still don't recommend going over there. It's just not gonna be that helpful, except in some very specific circumstances. But, like, you want to be shooting into the Reinhardt shield as much as possible. Oh, there's my desktop. You can see the video I was editing earlier. It's just, you know, like, you want to be shooting into a Reinhardt shield as Soldier 76, and just, like, putting your missiles in it as much as possible, because, like, that's part of your job, breaking Reinhardt shields. Just, like, consistent damage output. So we're advancing into the danger, again, right now, and also this is just not really the time we want to go in. Because if we look over in the kill feed, Pharah is dead. And then, immediately, like, right before we go in, Winston's dead. And then we decide we want to walk through the gate. First off, we don't want to be the first one to walk through the gate, because we're a DPS, we want our tanks to go in first. Granted, we have a Winston and a Roadhog, but you don't want to walk in first, and you're walking in while two people on your team are dead. So it's not really going to work out very well. And now we're, like, fixating on this area over here. We're being threatened from, like, every possible angle right now. But, like, you see Roadhog get hooked, you should, like, turn and start trying to drill this Roadhog, because this Roadhog is really easy to kill in this position. He's just gotten hooked, so he's about to get half shot by our Roadhog. And, like, yeah, I know you're reloading, but you're still trying to shoot at this Lucio. Like, Roadhog here, you could kill him, probably, if your Roadhog gets a decent shot in. Like, he's easier to kill than this Lucio that's all the way over here. Then again, we start walking forward. There's danger over here. There's danger over there. There's danger over there. We've put ourselves in a really bad position again. We've baited Mercy in, because she's felt the need to come over here and try to help us, and we just die. And she has wasted her res on us. So this is bad. We are now, again, walking into danger, because we're trying to just push through this Reinhardt shield. We're getting fucking microwaved to death right now. You are a long-range fighter, a mid to long-range fighter when you're playing Soldier. You're constantly going into the danger. You want to be as far away as you possibly can, putting in as much consistent damage as you possibly can. So, now, we're coming back around. We now have a Bastion on our team, which is, like, that's the kind of, like, you push tab right there. This is the kind of time you have to change to a healer. Because now you have 4 DPS and 2 tanks. You have to change to a healer at this point. Because you are not going to take this point without with no healers, right? Like, it's just not gonna happen. I don't care if you nearly have your ult or if you have your ultimate. At this point, you have to change to a healer. Because you need one. It's not going to work otherwise. So again, we come over here, still don't recommend it, and oh look, we frontal checked a bunch of danger because Junkrat was also there, and now we're getting run down by a Symmetra, which is really scary because Symmetra is hard to kill when she's just jumping around you like a gibbon like that. But like this, like, you have to change to a healer. You have to go back to the spawn and change to a healer because it's just not going to work. So now, like, we're undecided. Like, it's not looking good at this point. Yeah, no hit. Now, Roadhog has changed to Mercy. Now's the point you have to change to a tank. Because now, like, you're just not going to be able to get through the door, probably, either. Like, you know, it's like, okay, Widowmaker just changed to Winston, so I guess everything's fine now. Widowmaker changed to Winston, that's kind of funny, isn't it? So, we haven't got a whole lot of time left. We don't need to be going in just yet. We could wait for our team to get, like, we don't have to go in that urgently, that we have to just sort of throw ourselves into the danger. We've got 10 seconds left. The team is coming right now. But we, like, walk in, like, you probably die just immediately doing that before your team actually gets here. Like, you just wait, like, a little bit longer for your team to actually be here. But now, we're just running in to try and touch the point. We're getting run down by Roadhog. You know, it's not gonna work out, really. We're basically fucked. They're not gonna touch the point. Feels bad, man. And we lose the game. Let's see what the play of the game was. It was Reinhardt. Oh, yep. Yep, don't do that. That's not a good Pharah play right there. Oh. How exciting. So, big things. Stop walking into danger. A lot of bad habits, like walking into people when you're shooting at them, standing perfectly still while you're aiming at people. These are bad habits that you just kind of have to try and get out of doing because they're just not... And like, yeah, I know sometimes you're walking into the Mercy because you really want to hit the Mercy. Don't walk into the Mercy, you just have to shoot the Mercy from further away, right? Like, don't walk into people when you're shooting at them, that's a bad habit. Don't stand perfectly still when you're shooting at people, that's also a bad habit. It just leads to you dying more often than not. When you're 1v1ing someone, be careful about where you're walking around, because we end up backing up right into a window and get shot by Widowmaker. You gotta be as careful with these minor bad habits. This is going to sound rude when I first say it, okay? And I haven't talked about it this whole time, because I've just basically been waiting till the end to talk about this. This is going to sound rude when I first say it. Please wait for me to expand on it. And if you still think it's rude by the end of that, then feel free to be offended. But I think you communicate too much, right? Because I've watched you play 2 games now. What usually seems to happen is you basically communicate every thought that crosses your mind. And that's not very productive. Because you want to keep communication as brief as possible. You want to communicate important information, people are low, where people are, somebody's ulting, you've got your ult, that kind of thing. And like between phases, like maybe you want to talk about your team comp, things like that, that's fine. But like when the game is actually, like, you're actually fighting people, you want to keep communication as brief and to the point as possible. There's a lot of extraneous communication, which you want to try and cut down on, because it's not productive, it clogs up communication. Some people are going to get annoyed if you talk, like, a lot, because then they're just going to be like, oh, they keep talking, you know, so you want to keep it as brief and to the point as possible. So that's why I was like, it's going to sound rude, okay, but I don't mean it to be rude, right? It's just, there's a lot of extra stuff in there you could cut out. Try not to fixate on these gimmicky things. Like, standing up on that window on Hanamura as soldier, is pretty gimmicky, right? The enemy team has to let you get away with that, because what's gonna happen a lot of the time is just you're gonna do that helix jump, and they're gonna have, like, some long range DPS, and they're just gonna shoot you as soon as you get up on there. Best case scenario, you just get up there, do a little bit of damage, and immediately have to jump back down. But you've wasted a bunch of time. Like, it's just that you've given them you've almost died. It's not worth it. Don't fixate on, like, this gimmicky stuff. And just, like, focus on doing consistent high DPS assault, because that's what Soldier's thing is. He's incredibly consistent high, well, not really high, incredibly consistent moderate DPS, right? If there's a Reinhardt, your job is breaking Reinhardt's shield. Don't lie. If there's something better to be shooting at, obviously you shoot at that. But if there's nothing else for you to be shooting at, you want to be shooting at Reinhardt's shield because Soldier is really good at breaking Reinhardt shields. And, like, shields in general, not just Reinhardt's. He's good at breaking shields in general. And you just, like, spam your rockets into it. Don't be stingy with your rockets. Use them as much as possible. Yeah, those are, like, the big things right there. Be careful, like, bad habits, don't advance into danger, try and cut down on extraneous communication, just focus on doing high damage. Like, don't try and do this fancy stuff, just focus on doing consistent damage to, like, the enemy front line, and then try and pick people off when you can, and then look for people who are out of position to just kill a bunch of people with tac visor. Alright, so those are big things. Thank you very much for watching if you did. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer, and I hope you found it helpful.